Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
Okay lang.
Okay lang. We got the one, the only Good Morning Gabe in the building. In the evening.
In the evening.
Yeah.
Not on brand.
Not on brand, bro. He's coming all the way from Carson, California,
Yep.
the most Filipino spot in LA.
The Filipino Phantom.
Yeah, one of the most Filipino spots.
Yeah, that should be the historic Filipino town too.
Yeah,
like part
bro.
2.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like I remember when I first moved here, historic Filipino town, like I knew it was a thing, or I at least had an idea it was a thing. But then when I went there one time, I was like, I don't really see too many. Like, there's not too much Filipino stuff going on.
I think they kind of left.
Yeah.
I was there last week though for the I totally forgot what they called it. Barrio,
the
hi-fi,
the barrio, the one that
the
Pilo
festival,
and
the Filipino,
yeah.
Filipino festival. I was there and I didn't realize how hilly it is. But
is it really?
There's a lot of hills, but it was an incredible event. I saw probably like 5,000 Filipinos pull up in less than 1 week of promotion. So salute to them.
Less than a week?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly saw it like last week or a week.
That's true.
Before the event, that's when I started seeing the flyers.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And then I was like, oh,
it's because Filipinos run deep. Like
they do.
Like
they do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Y'all like when someone's like, oh, like I'm Filipino, it's like, all right, for sure.
Yeah,
there.
The support system is crazy.
Well, not to mention that like lineup that they had was pretty like extensive. I mean, if you just had like nudes and Pilo just hosting, not even performing, and like everybody else on the lineup was dope. I think I saw So Super Sam DJ there too.
Yeah. They hosted a lumpia eating contest for $1,000. It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The winner was like double fisting the joints, like
Double fist in the lumpia, man. I could never.
Respect.
Yeah.
But was it like little size lumpia or like?
It was like medium. It wasn't like the nubs. It wasn't the nubs.
That
little bigger, yeah.
Oh shit.
Had to have some competition on it.
I don't know, man. I just feel like after like 5 lumpias, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? I can't do more than that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like being the Kobayashi of lumpias, dipping it in water and just. Okay.
Oh shit. Well, good morning, Gabe, everybody. I think you and I had at least known about each other back in like, I mean, it seems forever now.
Yeah.
Like maybe like 2016, 17, something like that.
Absolutely.
So Gabe, I always gave Gabe his flowers from afar because we were both at different radio stations at the same time, competitor radio stations. But Gabe, like, bro, you would fuck with like all the like most random LA cats super heavy, and like when I was doing my lunch table shit, I remember seeing like, okay, like if me and Gabe are on like the same radar about the same person, then I at least know this person's like cool, this person's good.
Absolutely. And then me coming up, I noticed you because you were on the street team. I was on the street team.
Yeah.
You were at Real. I was at Power. But then you also were covering all the artists, like all the Asian artists that I really fuck with, like Don Quez, Stupid Young, and all that. And then I was like, oh, you were on my radar. But then I was just like, I can't show him too much love because he's on the other side. And then like growing up in radio, they kind of like brainwash yourself to be like, oh, across the street, if you want to join across the street or whatever. Yeah. And it was like, I mean, I fuck with what he's doing though.
Yeah.
I fuck with the foundation.
I really feel like that's a thing where it's like, oh, like just because like we're like, for you guys as an example, like, oh, just because we're competing, it's like I can't fuck with you. It's like, dog, like we're all just doing the thing. We're just doing the thing.
After we're all out of it, it's like, dog, we could coexist.
Yeah,
we could help each other out.
Literally.
We could support each other.
I want to share a super funny story because I think I was in a hotel room. Pause. Before anybody ever thinks anything, right?
Wait a second.
So I was in a hotel room, and the next thing you know, our friend Roslyn, rest in peace, she comes in with Gabe, right?
Yeah.
And so she comes in with Gabe, and she's like, Nico, get... And she paused, and she was like, wait, can you guys be in the same room together? And I was like, yeah, we can. Like, we don't hate each other.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
That is crazy. That's how it was like the tone of it. It was like, oh, shoot.
It was,
like
bro.
Bloods and Crips, bro. The radio version.
Yes, the radio version, man. I mean, nowadays it's Drake versus Kendrick. So, pick a side, everybody. Pick a side.
But I do want to shout out Roslyn. Rest in peace. But she's like incredible. Like she really set the tone of really like putting like Filipino Americans on the forefront. And then I was like, when you started working with her, I was like, dang, one of my goals is to be able to have my work speak so loud that she'll be able to see what I'm doing. And then able awesome. like that moment was like one of the first moments I was able to work with her. So that was a special moment for me to be in the room with you and her and be like, oh dang, we're on the same track. Like how I kind of wanted it to be.
Yeah. And honestly, bro, like, and I know I never told you this, but I feel like it was from that moment on, like, I mean, we already had a relationship prior, like, you know, we were talking to each other on Twitch and whatnot, like, because it was okay to type shit.
But I feel like everything was already done. We got to go from our jobs, and then we're just like, hey, we could be friends now.
Yeah, for sure. But then I feel like after that moment, that was like the first real moment where I was like, all right, cool. Like, we can for surely just coexist. And like now, like, we can actually start working with each other in like, you know, some sort of capacity. And it's cool to just see like what you've done over the years, like whether it be like, you know, bring together just local LA artists on the map. Like what really got you into that, man?
I was really like DJing clubs and all that, and I kind of got over it, and I was looking for a new outlet.
Yeah.
And I was really inspired from what like the LA Leakers were doing with Dom Kennedy, YG, Kendrick, Nipsey Hussle, and being able to be the foundation and platform for them and being a voice and being able to bring them in different rooms and let their music like go like cross different countries and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I kind of hung up the club scene and I took a break. I told all the homies I used to promote with, like, I kind of want to do the radio shit.
Yeah.
And then there was a dude named DJ Aaron that I used to.
Aaron.
So Aaron let me intern for him at a radio station. It was like an internet radio station.
What the heck?
Yeah. Oh, can you remind me
Rosewood
the name?
Radio.
Yes, Rosewood. Yeah.
And then that's where I developed like this passion. I didn't even know it, but I was just like always up till 4 or 5 in the morning on SoundCloud or just like looking for the newest sounds. And then I was a social media manager at Rosewood Radio, but then I ended up giving USBs full of like all these new music.
Oh shit!
Like Eric Bellinger, like just everyone coming up in the city, and then I would just give it to him and be like, "Hey, these are new songs I picked out, so you could play them." And then eventually he started playing them a lot, and he was like, "Hey, you have an ear, bro. Like all these artists are like starting to pop." And then like within a year of working with him, he said, do you want to work at Power 106 on the street team? And then from there, I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And then when I got on the street team, that's when I really like tapped in, because with the street team, we were going to every single inner city and tapping in with the youth. And then a lot of these people were rapping or just like, hey man, you should listen to the homies. I would always, I would always keep my ear to the streets, whether it's like DJing in front of like a Boost Mobile, right? In South Central, or like middle schools or
like
high schools.
In the cut.
I'm already here. Let me hear it.
I think that's so funny. Like you mentioned, like being on street team, because like we all got started on street team. Like, and I just think it's so funny, like being on street team in radio. The locations they send you to. Are the most like bunk locations. You're like, why am I here? Like,
sometimes you feel like you're not gonna make it through that event.
That's so real.
It really shows you adversity as far as like, you know, what songs not to play in this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, mind you, so like I'm not from here, right? Jackie already knew what I was about to say, so I'm not from here. And so like we were DJing in front of Nipsey's store.
Okay.
You know, the Marathon store, right?
Slauson.
And so, like, I was DJing. I didn't know where the fuck I was. I'm brand new to this shit. And so I'm like, okay, we're in LA. I'll just play some YG, whatever. Mind you, they didn't even tell us where the fuck we were going. And so next thing you know, like, a couple of the homies from the store, they were just like, hey, bro, like, you're obviously not from here. So you're obviously not from here, but I just want to let you know we fuck with YG, but you got to tone it down with that. And I'm
so
like,
it was the YG records that they got.
Yeah. And you know, it was all love because they clearly just knew I wasn't from there, and they're just like, yeah, like, you know, just tone it down, bro. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then next thing you know, like, I see corner of my eye. I was actually with Brianna. Okay. I was with Bree.
Yeah.
And so from the corner of my eye, like someone was just like talking. They were in the corner. They were getting beat up just like right over in the corner of the thing. And I was just like, okay, I don't know if I want to be here that long, bro.
You just focus straight on your controller, bro.
I'm just like, can we leave, bro?
No, I remember there was this one time. Well, you know Cook, right? So he and I started on Street Team at the same time, and he always told me about this one hit where it was like in front of a liquor store, and they were doing like a meet and greet for somebody. I can't remember who it was.
It was 50 Cent.
50 Cent?
Okay.
So it was 50 Cent, and then they leave, and then later on that night in the news, they say like somebody got shot at the liquor store. Damn. Once they left. I was like, oh, bro.
Yeah, it's moments like those. It kind of creates, a better person out of you.
Yeah, man. Shoot, it's real in LA, man. It is real in LA.
But that's what I loved about the Street Team, because it was like the kind of bottom of the trenches, and you get to speak to, different walks of life.
Yeah.
The community, really.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's the best part about radio is like meeting the people, meeting the listeners of like, oh, like I'm so and so. It's like, oh shoot, you're the one that calls and like gives me shit. Like,
I get to see everything.
Yeah, literally. Like I remember there was a listener where her name's Karen, and she always calls in and she's like, "What's up, Jackie? Like, love you, Jackie. You're my girl." Blah blah blah. And I remember we were at an event, and I just hear her voice. I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? And she sees me, she goes, Jackie is Karen. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, thank God I finally got to meet you. Yeah. It's just so dope.
Yeah, you're frontline. How many times did you get the, where's Big Boy? Yeah. Bro, I used to get that shit all the time. It wasn't even high, or just like catch you on the 5 and then you're just sitting in traffic and roll down your windows. Where Big Boy at?
I'm like, I guarantee you he's not in the promo vehicle. He's not in the promo vehicle.
Just in my pocket.
Yeah. He's on the vehicle. Like his face is on there, but he's not in the vehicle.
That's so funny.
Oh my
That's
God.
Hilarious.
Well, Gabe, you were working in radio for how many years before pandemic?
Probably like with Street Team and on air, probably like a total like 6 to 7.
Hell yeah, dude.
Years. Yeah. It really was just like learning everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like learning how to rock a mic. I was really kind of like hesitant with the mic before Street Team. I was just like,
hella shy.
I'm cool. I'm cool, bro. You go ahead. I'll give you a bed. I'll just give you an instrumental, bro. I'm really just a DJ. You go ahead. You got hired as a host. That's you.
And then how long before you actually got on with the Leakers?
Well, probably like a year and a half, because there was a guy named Teddy Mora that I would always go with.
Yeah, Teddy.
Yeah, he's a legend, bro. He taught me a lot about like not being afraid of the mic and just like being more confident in yourself.
Right.
Because I didn't know what I was doing. I would just like, whenever we would go places, I would play him music, and then he would be like, bro, like, all this shit is West Coast shit? Like, yeah, like they're about to get signed or like they're the next big thing.
Yeah.
And like slowly those artists started like popping. And then he was like, dude, I know exactly who you need to meet. So he set up a meeting with me and Just Incredible and Teddy. And it was like a year and a half into Street Team. And it was crazy because he kind of connected the dots. I remember Just Incredible from the LA Leakers. He was like, Gabe, if you're the person that Teddy's saying you are, play me like 5 records. And then I played him 5 records, and then like right away, he was just like, oh, okay, I think I might need you to DJ my Sirius XM show, but I want you to stay close. So like we'll just work together. And then that's how I kind of got that introduction. And then every week we would just meet up and then help out, curate shows and playlists and stuff.
Yeah.
And then eventually these artists, I was trying to figure out how I could get them played on the radio.
Yeah.
Because it's very, like, on terrestrial radio, it's very hard.
Yeah.
You have to, like, show and prove, right?
Yeah.
So what I've learned was, I was already on the Street Team. We were doing Power 106 All-Star games. We would pull up to different schools. And my job was just to find, like, the artists that would resonate with each school, with each city and community. And then, like, to the point where it's like, everybody was like connecting the dots where people would go crazy because there's like One Take Jay in Compton or in Long Beach. Oh shit, Blueface and Long Beach Poly. Oh shit. And then when
and I do also gotta say too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like this is Blueface. Before he's Blueface. This is
Krishan.
Exactly. Bro, like this is Kalen before he's Kalen 2 for real. So I want to give you that because it's like you were tapped in with these guys before they are who they are today.
Yeah, I would tap in with like Rosecrans Vic. He was really tapped in with the streets. Cypress Moreno.
Yeah.
They would have like these like underground parties that I would always go to. Like, don't come to LA. And I was like, this is perfect because they're in a perfect pocket in the underground. Like they have like just enough fans where it's like on the verge of underground and mainstream.
Yeah.
I could be able to help them get to the next level without even being signed.
Yeah.
So then like knowing that at the Power All-Star games, there was the programmer like putting everything together, which was DJ E-Man.
Yeah.
And I know that once he sees this, seeing is believing. Once you see it, you feel it, and you know that the whole community is rocking right behind it. You have no choice. Yeah. So like when we did his alma mater, DJ E-Man's Poly High in Long Beach.
Okay.
Right? That's where he graduated from. And then he always likes to make like big events on it, right?
Right.
Oh, you're smart. I see it. Yeah.
And then I guess there was a guy that called off, and he hit me up as we're leaving the station. And he says, "Do you know anyone that could pull up? Like, I know this is last minute." And then me and the homie Brian were like, "Yeah, we have a couple of contacts we could call." And we brought One Take J and Blueface to take over the school. And man, they shut that shit down.
So wait, okay, because now you were saying like, you know, you were kind of like that dot connector for, you know, the talent essentially coming to schools. What year did you start there?
At Power?
Yeah.
Probably like 2012, 2013.
Okay, so you might have been responsible for the All-Star game at my high school.
Which one?
Which is Sure High School.
Okay.
And it was Miles Parrish.
Okay,
And
is that where we had to sneak them through the back because they were like going too crazy?
Yeah, it was Kaylin and Miles. Yeah, it was Sure High School.
Cam fam. Hell yeah.
Bro.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so literally
Were you one of the kids running to the back?
Okay, so
No, because we like snuck them through the back and then they found out we were sneaking them through the back. So then there was like a whole like mosh pit going to the back and I was like, what do we do?
Oh shit.
No, so like literally I was supposed to go because I was a fan of like Kaylin and Miles, right? And I remember I got in trouble with my parents that day, or because I lied about some stupid shit probably, and they were like, "You can't go to the basketball game." I was like, "But Kaylin and Miles."
Oh no!
Yeah.
Not the Cam fam, bro.
But I was just like, yeah, that literally is stuck in my head. So wow,
that was a crazy moment. Yeah,
full circle.
I remember that.
That's crazy.
Hey, Sure High went up though. I remember school. We would always put a star next to Sure High because of how lit they are.
Yeah. And honestly, we're actually going back to Sure High at the end of this month, which I'm like so excited about. And I also remember, like you guys took Ariana Grande to our school.
Oh yeah, that was actually the day I got hired. I got hired because they were like, "Oh, everyone's out right now because they're going to take Ariana Grande to a Sure High."
Really?
And it was in like I remember because it went up.
Yes,
right? Like
it was like an
stairs.
amphitheater.
Okay,
yeah. We called it an amphitheater. I remember it was so funny because then Cruz literally tells me like she never said that. I'm like, but she tweeted that our school was ghetto. So like, and literally everyone remembers that. Like I tweet that like at least once a year. I'm like, remember when Ariana Grande called you ghetto? And everyone's like, bro, yeah, like, I remember that. It was so funny. Like I think those are so like core memories.
Yeah, I feel it.
That's funny.
Shit, man. I mean, shoot. I mean, it's cool to see like you bring everybody from like each of their cities and like actually expose them to, you know, these high schools. I feel like it really takes a certain type of ear to like figure out like who's really popping.
Yeah.
And
the kids dictate that. You know what I mean? The youth really dictates what's gonna be popping, and it's like you kind of have to listen to it and feel the vibe and understand it.
You got to follow it, bro.
Yeah, and then it was like from there, I was invited to like the mixer meetings, and you know that's like an elite club. You're in the meeting with like E-Man, DJ Felly Fell, Sour Milk, all these guys, and Big One at the time. Yeah, all these guys like, damn, these are the big leagues. These are the guys that's been doing it for generations.
You're like, I really got to know my shit now.
I remember it was like the first day, and they're like, Gabe. Everyone knew who I was because I started bringing artists around, and then Sour Milk was like, hey, I think they want you to play a record. And I remember the first time I had a phone, I was just so nervous. My hand kept shaking. I was like,
it was like this the whole time.
I was like, I got this new Kaylin for real record. I can just play for y'all.
Gabe was doing like music teases, like trying to help. He's like, coming up, I got and so and so.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
You know, from like an artist perspective, right? Because I know you get this question still to this day, but like, what does it take for like an LA artist to get their song like on the radio? And I'm asking you because you're very experienced with this, or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was different for the time because it was just something that I kind of like finessed. Like I finessed like a little format of like expediting songs. Like, of course, you're gonna have to like, kind of like have an undeniable song, impactful song where like someone's fighting for it, whether it's someone in the community or anything where it's like it'll get into like the hands of the right person and then they'll be able to bring it. But majority of the times it's really on like the person championing that record. Right? And what kind of like what stats do they have behind them? And it's like, okay, cool. Oh, damn. Oh, he's fucking with it. Oh, he's fucking with it. Oh, okay. Now we'll be able to, because in mixer meetings, it's really on, everyone will play a song and then we'll vote on what song they should put on the mix show. Yeah. In rotation. And that's a hard thing because you have 15 DJs and everyone has their own song. So of course they're going to vote for their own song. But then like when they start picking and then a song is like, okay, it's going crazy in the club and there's 6-7 different votes. Okay, let's try to see.
There has to be like that undeniable record, bro.
That everyone agrees on. Yeah. And of course it's going to have that one moment. Yeah. Where you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah. I still don't know how Die For You is passing those mixer meetings. That's crazy. That's the one I don't understand.
Die For You the weekend, everybody.
There's some songs that will never hit the mixer meeting and it'll just have like crazy ratings that will just be undeniable that won't even like pass that anymore. It will just go straight to A. Yeah. You know? It's like, oh, we gotta play this. And it's like every Drake record and every for now. I don't know.
For now, we'll see.
Literally Nico filled in the other day and he was like downloading some music and he was just like I walk in, he's like, so am I still playing Drake? I'm like, I mean, until we say otherwise, then I guess we are.
Yeah. Radio's like it's such a different beast, man, and it's like from your experience, because technically, actually, you've been in radio longer than both of us, maybe even a little bit combined, truthfully. So, like, what's the difference that you see from like radio from when you started versus now?
Oh, dang, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure because I haven't really been paying attention, like to radio now. Like as far as like terrestrial radio. Yeah. But I know that like it was such an old school method, and I know that like now with like technology, it's kind of hard to kind of use that same method, whether there's the PPM programming format that they used to like figure out what songs people kind of tune into and tune out to. But I feel like that's kind of
a little outdated.
Yeah, I feel like even like ratings, when it comes to ratings too, that the way that we know how ratings are calculated is outdated in itself too, where it's like, I remember, so this is crazy because like we like obviously use like Nielsen for the ratings, but I remember I used to be a Nielsen like person. Like I like my dad had gotten something in the mail, and he was just like, I signed us up for this, you guys gotta like literally wear this and put this in your bag, and it looked like a fucking pager. And I'm in high school, and I look like I have a pager.
Dude, that is so crazy that they gotta carry it around just to get the ratings for the radio. That's wild.
So, like, literally, my dad like is single-handedly responsible for like the top 0.1% of Howard Stern's ratings, because that man literally played Howard Stern every morning dropping me off at school. But it's like so crazy, how you say like a lot of the stuff that we use is outdated. Yeah. It's crazy.
So it's kind of hard to like really see if it's working.
But exactly. I mean, amongst the many artists that you've like worked with, because I've seen you at just the most random shows, pushing like so many different LA cats. It's cool to see that you are flourishing as Blxst DJ. That's fucking dope, bro.
Thank you, man. It was that was like the end of that wave, because it was like the LA Leakers gave me my own opportunity at the New at Night, right? Mm-hmm. So we would have a midnight show, pretty much breaking all LA. It's dedicated to breaking all LA artists, local artists, or not even LA, just West Coast artists that normally don't have that light.
Yeah.
So then I would play for a whole hour from midnight to 1, all the songs, like all the hits, right? Oh Through Greedo, Shoreline Mafia. We would break everyone. And then everyone, I would always go to all of their shows and figure out and be like, hey, my name is Gabe. I work with the LA Leakers. I got to figure out the right record with you, right? So then I would always tap in and hear this one name. I would always reach out to like Kalen, for real, Bino Rideau, be like, hey, can I get this record clean? And he was like, oh, there's a dude that you should tap in with because he's producing all these records. His name is Blxst, right? And the homie Jason Cash was like, yeah, Blxst is the guy that you need to meet right now because he's producing everyone's hits. He's a crazy producer.
Really?
Yeah. So like Bozo, Bino Rideau, produced by him. Right With It, produced by Blxst.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hit Yo Gutta was like an LA classic in 2016 with Kendrick Lamar, Problem, and YG on the remix. He produced that. So he was like a really big producer underground that was just like sweeping the streets.
Yeah.
So then I reached out to him, and then he started like, hey, I want to be my own artist at one point. Like, I want to be my own artist. I'm starting to rap on these things. And he had this tape coming out called the 6 Tape One. And ended up being a timeless mixtape to represent the city, represent Los Angeles in like its purest form. It was like very simple G-Funk shit or like real like, damn, classic, timeless music.
Honestly, 6 Tape, when I first heard it, I was like, cool. Like, it gives me that West Coast feel, but it's chill.
Yeah, and it's not chill. Doing too much.
Yeah. And
it's like, damn, this shit feels right.
Yeah.
It feels right. And I remember I was on Stupid Young's tour. We were going a tour for Mozzie, but Stupid Young was supporting act.
Oh, yeah, I remember that tour.
And then one of the tapes that they kept replaying was the 6 Tape tape. And I was like, oh shit, this is the guy. This is Blxst. He's fucking killing it. But then I remember it was like, we were like in that Sprinter and that was the only tape playing like the whole tour.
Time.
Wow. I was like, this shit is hard. My favorite song off the mixtape was Savage.
Yeah.
So I kept telling him, I was like, bro, you need to give me this clean so I could premiere it. We'll go crazy. And we went crazy for months. And then it was just like, if you guys know Blxst, hit us up. Cause this guy's gonna be some special. He's going to be something special. So we ended up setting up a date to bring him in the radio station. And then the world was kind of coming to a close. We kind of had to shut down on March 13th.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, but I got let go from Power at the end of that month. And then Blxst was like, what's up? I'm trying to drop this album. What's going on? And I was like, I don't work at Power no more. And he was like, it's all good. I want you to DJ for me. The listening party is coming up September. I need you to rock with me. And I was like, okay. And then we started playing some shit. And then he let the album kind of marinate with the world. And that shit was like the reception from that.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. I remember I had Cook telling me, like, Cook was the one who put me on a Blxst.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, damn, this guy's like so fucking good. And Cook has a really good ear too. And so I remember listening to Blxst for the first time and I had the same sentiments. I'm like, this guy is going to be someone who's just going to take over, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see. And, you know, honestly, like.
And for you to be a part of it too.
Yeah, man. I mean, a big part of it, dude. Like trying to break his records when virtually all he's doing is producing for, you know, everybody. And he doesn't even have his name out as a rapper yet.
Yeah.
Like. And I mean, shoot, you're on fucking Coachella stages now and everything.
Dog. I remember sitting there like DJ packs, so like, bro, you need to be playing this in your rotation, like being like one of those like radio pushers, radio single pushers.
How does that feel? Like literally, like just being in that full circle moment of literally being there from the beginning, where he's telling you like, I want to like make myself as an artist, and then being on the Coachella stage, like.
Yeah, that was wild. I remember just sitting backstage, just like kind of reflecting and then just like really like having this sense of reflection where you're like, wow, we started like being able to kind of be at the beginning and now we're here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of artists aren't even able to be on these type of stages. So this is like a real moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was very surreal, but it was like, with me, it was like, I feel like I'm living in my name kind of. Cause like my mom named me Gabriel, my name, and that's the angel of, you know, the communication angel, being able to send messages, right? Oh, wow. Gabriel really told Mary that he's going to have a kid named Jesus, right? But then it was just becoming more of like a messenger. Yeah. And being able to have my time at Power and represent these artists that normally don't get the light and being able to shed a light to them. And now one of the artists on the last wave of right before I got fired is able to take this shit global. And he took me on tour to see the world. Well, islands I have never seen before, like New Zealand and
London and everything.
Yeah, London, like just seeing different pockets, right? And getting out of the regional section and just being able to see music resonate, translate.
I'm literally having goosebumps right now, bro, because literally, like, you know how G-Eazy says, like, from the Bay to the universe type shit? Like, you're literally a living example of taking the West Coast and taking it around the freaking world, bro. So, like, I mean, you don't hear the applause, but I'm applauding you right now with that button, dog. No, for real. Like, it makes me super proud knowing that, like, you know, the music that we all grew up with is getting heard around the world, and it's reciprocated well.
Absolutely. And it's timeless music. Like the shit that Blxst is talking about is shit that we go through every single day.
Yeah.
Perseverance, like love, like being able to deal with family. Like that's the shit.
I think that's what it is, bro.
Yeah, it's literally like all the stages of life that no matter
like
what,
real shit.
Yeah,
like real shit.
No matter whether you're young, like an adult or whatever, it's like we all go through this shit. And that's what it is.
Yeah, and we got to persevere through it.
Yeah,
we're all going through it.
Yeah, bro. And I think that's just what it is. Like all his music, like we're going through it, whether it be like in your relationships, in your personal life, in your career. Like even the last record he dropped, like I just felt like
Heart Ain't Empty or the Fade record, because the Fade record is huge.
Oh yeah, the Fade record's fire, but I was talking about the Heart record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heart Ain't Empty?
Heart Ain't Empty, because there was like no drums on it. And I remember telling you this like a couple weeks ago. I was like, it resonates with me so well because there's no drums. So I feel like I'm just hearing everything he's saying.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah, and it was dedicated, rest in peace, Angelo. He was a dude that he went to high school with, Filipino cat as well, very loving. And I remember meeting him at the No Love Lost listening party, and man, he was supporting me through the whole journey, and it's also about like his family that he lost as well. So it was like real big moments, like that was just like crazy to kind of see it come to life, you know?
Yeah.
So I need you to clear it up for the internet, Gabe. Tell us, is Blxst partly Filipino?
No, he's not.
Has he done the 23andMe?
He's actually not Filipino. Or else his name would have been Blastos. But he's not Blastos, that's me. He's Blxst. No, he's not, but he's not Filipino. That's crazy that everyone thinks that he's like 1/4, right?
Yeah. I mean, shit, he can run with it. It don't matter.
I remember when we had him up at the station, like we were like, bro, honestly, you could just say you're Filipino at this point. Like that's totally fine.
He really can.
And he was just like, honestly, like I might low-key.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's like the things that we were talking about, right? Like the pure love, being just like really 100% like being like street, but still like loving. A different angle, really. I remember
that vulnerability.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just being very vulnerable and letting it out there. And we were kind of like searching for, I mean, like Filipinos love Kehlani when she came in, and it was a great like R&B set, right? And that was like, oh, these songs, like we really relate to it. Bryson Tiller, same thing, relate to it. And now Blxst comes out and everyone kind of gravitated to it as far as like Filipinos. I remember the first show to start off the whole tour, Seattle. And it was like a lot, 80%, 70% Asians, but really Filipinos.
Yeah.
And we got into the sprinter, and he was like, why do Filipinos fuck with me so much? I
don't know. You're like, bro, just run with it. Just run with it.
And I'm just like trying to think,
You're like, it's me.
You too. He's like, bro, you gotta tell me.
I was like, I don't know. I guess we're just real lovers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because we could really sing his songs. Mm-hmm. It really comes down to, amongst other things, but for me, it's because I could sing his songs, and I feel like I'm the one singing it. You know what I mean? Because it's just that relatable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's not hard shit that, like, you know, no one is like that's just for one type of person that like grew up a certain type of way. It's like, again, it's like vulnerability, it's open, and really anyone goes through the same shit. So I think that's what it is.
What do you think has been like your favorite experience, like just really moving across the world, like doing what you just absolutely love?
Oh, being able to connect. In Australia, we did this crazy festival called Promised Land. And I remember being backstage, and I remember I got a homie named Chad. He manages Common Kings. Common Kings, Dinah Jane. So hyped to see Blxst. Big fans of Blxst.
Yeah.
And I remember in the beginning of that tour, I was playing like 30-minute sets before I brought out Blxst in New Zealand and stuff. And I was playing like Fia, like island reggae joints, right?
Yeah.
And I was playing Common Kings, Sammy J. And those were the first songs I would start my set. And then, man, it would be so nuts. Like, everyone was singing. It was like praise and worship.
Yeah, no,
and
literally.
Then,
like, Sammy, like, the Sammy J reception is crazy.
Yeah. And Blxst would ask me, he would be like, what songs are you playing? Like, this shit I've never heard this shit in my life. And then being able to, like, maybe like the 9th, 10th show on that tour, being able to connect them and like, oh, this is the guy I was playing. These are Common Kings. Wow. This is Sammy J. Oh shit, it's Blxst. Like, being able to be like, oh shit, it's full circle moment.
Man, it's no wonder he's like going into like the island reggaeton
but
type
that's
shit.
What's cool about Blxst is he could like adapt.
Yeah.
Adapt to a lot of things. Like, he had this record where he had a UK accent, fucking bodied it. But he'll like go, he likes taking it to the islands. Yeah. Right? And that's why you see like shit, the new record Rewind would fade, and he doesn't seem like he's out of place.
Yeah.
He knows how to adapt so quickly, which Filipinos are really good at adapting.
That's crazy. I was literally about to say that.
Put that in the notes. All about adapting, bro. Be careful. You might show me these dance moves. I might make a group called Jabberwockies. Give me a couple of years. Show me turntables. I'll show you DJ Cuber. You know what I mean? These guys are people that adapted so well in their environment, and then give them a couple of years, they'll be really good at that shit. Maybe even better than you sometimes.
So what you're saying is Blxst is at least 5% Filipino.
He does have to take a DNA test. We're trying to figure it out.
That's what's so like crazy to me, like, too, is that like ever since I've been with Nico and like I fully like understood Filipino culture, I'm like, fuck, like, are Filipinos really bad at anything? Like, like, I'm like, man, what the fuck, man? Like, that's crazy. Y'all can sing, y'all can dance, y'all can fucking do anything, really. Your doctors,
they're
fucking
really
nurses,
good.
lawyers,
Exactly.
like, what the fuck?
They'll pick up everything that you don't want to do, and then they'll do a really good job at it, you know? And that's what's so cool about Filipinos, especially in America, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you talk to anybody about Filipinos, they'll be like, bro, I used to have a coworker that was Filipino. He always made sure I ate. Okay. I was like, of course.
Literally, when Nico first entered my family, like, the first thing, like, we went to, like, family parties, and the first family party I took him to, my uncle goes, oh, my coworker's Filipino. I was like, oh my God. And then my other uncle, he's like, yeah, so Joe Coy, I really like Joe Coy. I was like, guys, can you please be fucking normal? Like,
but it's cool though, because it's always positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they'll always share a moment where they looked out for him. You know what I mean? Where I was like, dang, you got me this job.
Now that I think about it, I've never heard anyone speak bad about like a Filipino.
I mean,
unless it was like, I was like, wait, unless like it was Manny Pacquiao and be like, you're Mexican.
Yeah.
They're like, man, fuck Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I'm like, but still, at the same time, respect Manny Pacquiao.
Dude, at that
fucking
time,
amazing fighter.
At that time, he was called the Mexicutioner.
Yes. No, literally, I remember.
Felt bad about that. I'll talk to him about that later.
He's like, I laughed a little bit too hard on that one.
No, like I remember being in my uncle's garage, and that's where we would watch boxing fights.
Crazy.
And like we would be watching fights, and we'd be like, well, for what? Like at this point, but yeah, it's so funny just to see like.
I remember DJing debuts. It was like that's when they turned 18.
Yeah,
it's a
like
big
our
moment.
quinceañera.
Debuts, and then they would have the fight. At the debuts, there was like 3 debuts I DJ'd, and they were like, "Let's pause it because we're gonna be watching Money, okay?" And then after the fight, we can do the roses.
Oh no!
Stop! That's so funny.
If I was the daughter, I don't know if I'd be happy or like with it.
I mean, the girls were into it. They're like, "Okay, Miss Manny,
yeah, they get to do whatever they want for those
Filipino Independence Day." At that point,
yeah, bro, that's what it felt like.
Every time he had a fight. Everyone would rally.
That's crazy.
It's super cool to see like just Filipino culture specifically like really get their roses, and like we're starting to do like so much shit now, bro. Mm-hmm. Like even I don't know if you know him, but I think his name is like Emwell,
yeah,
right?
From OGM, our music generation.
I believe so. He has like pink hair or something like that. So I only just recently got put up to him because he was doing a lot of like Rolling Loud press. And then like, I was like, who the fuck is this guy, right? So I clicked on his page. I saw he was Filipino. I was like, automatic follow. It's whatever. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. And you know, it's cool to see him do his thing because it reminds me of you. Like, you know, just like really advocating for artists at that point. And I'm like, cool.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I said the same thing when I saw his page too. I'm like, okay. But he has the youth. He has it. He's locked into like a different generation sound, and I fuck with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's really out here.
Yeah, bro. It's nice to see that we as a people, right, are more willing to enter these spaces and feel that much more comfortable doing what we need to do. Because you ask any of this to us, like, even 5 years ago, like this wouldn't even be a conversation right now. It would always be conversations of like, we need to do more, we need to do better, we need to do this. But now it's like
we're at the forefront.
Yeah, we're at the forefront. We're living it now. Like this is what we've been asking for the past couple of years.
Yeah. I feel like that just like that whole like ever since the pandemic, I feel really like I've just been able to witness because I've been with Nico that Filipinos are just like in your face all the time now, and it's like there's no denying it at this point.
But it's new. Yeah, it's totally new.
It's still like new.
Yeah,
but it's like you guys are at the forefront, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but it's amazing to see. Like it's really dope. So, and you guys both have a lot to contribute to that. To be honest, you guys both have your fair share of like what you've done for the community. Yeah. For what you guys did for like radio and all that, and still are continuing to do. It's fucking insane. So.
Even Mexipino podcast. Like I went to the festival, the food festival.
Yeah.
And I was like, me and my girl were in awe. We were just like, damn, you guys are able to impact the culture, the communities, like in a short amount of time too.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, it's just been since the pandemic.
Yeah. But I mean, like stuff like that probably takes like 10 years, 15 years to kind of build, but it was just like dope to see it come to life.
Yeah. And it's really, it's really dope when it comes to like the food fest, especially like when we see, cause we realize like we're not the Mexipino generation, the ones after us are, and to see like families like come up to us and just literally shove their kids in front of us and like Mexipino. I'm like, okay,
take picture.
Yeah. I remember there was literally a lady. She like handed me her baby. She's like, "Can you take a picture of my baby?" The baby's already in my arms. I'm like, okay, and she like. Mexipino. I was like, oh, okay, like, okay. But it's so cool to see that, like, you know, we're all doing this for either one of our cultures and combined. It's
helping give a voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember like always thinking about like just being up at 4 in the morning. Like, is all of this gonna make sense? Like, I don't know if this is gonna make sense. This is all just groundwork that we're going all in on. Sacrificing a lot of our relationships with our family and sacrificing a lot of just opportunities to be able to be in this position.
Yeah.
which never had a blueprint, so we don't know if it's actually gonna work.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I feel like in our heart, it keeps telling us to keep going.
Yeah.
And you know what the hard part about all of it is that, like, you know, whether it be like Mexican families or Filipino families, like we're so close to our families. Like we are very close knit, and we're all about like wanting to like be about
present.
each other and being present. So like I like to say like the difficulty that comes with being Filipino and being in this industry is that like you have to separate yourself from that, like to a degree, you know?
You have to.
Yeah.
Have to.
It's insane. Like there's been instances like when I started in radio and like doing all these other things that I do, I would tell Nico, like, you know, I feel guilty. I feel it's crazy because like you're so trained as Mexicans and Filipinos to be like, you gotta work hard, you gotta like constantly grind, you gotta do this, you can never say no to an opportunity, but yet you still feel guilty when you're there, and you can't really learn to appreciate the moment sometimes because you're just like, okay, well, what's the next thing I'm gonna do? Or my mind's like, oh man, like I'm missing this family like gathering or whatever because I'm working, but also I need to work because I need it to work. It's that's that struggle, I think, within our cultures.
Have you had like any sort of struggles like that with your family with trying to figure out like what exactly it is that you're doing?
Yeah, it was like, dude, my dad always gave me a hard time. There were some times where they would give me ultimatums, like quit the Power on the 6th Street team or else you can't sleep at home. And then I would have to like sleep in my girl's crib or just like not come home because I was like, dude, like this is crazy. This might be the time where I switch jobs because it's like their acceptance is not there. Yeah. They wanted me to be a nurse, and if I can't make my dreams happen by 25, I got to be be in school for pharmacy tech. Wow. And it was just like, shit, I didn't want to do it. And like when I reached that age, I was like, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm already in the building where all these people I look up to, I got to make this shit happen. But it's just like family parties, and then the aunties start talking.
Oh my God, literally.
There is the anak that doesn't want to listen to us, huh?
Oh, what do you do? You play music, huh?
Wow, disco, huh? You don't think I know what it is to party? I do.
Oh, Gabe, you play with singers, huh? I'm a singer too.
I'm a singer too. Give me the mic. Come on. Come on.
And I think that's what it is too. Like there's that fear that our families have where because we're entering unknown territory, it's like, well, there's no security. Yeah. And it's just like...
And we have no one to be like, oh, this guy did it. So you're good, auntie. Don't worry about him.
I'm trying to be that person that people say like, oh, you know, so-and-so did it. Like Gabe did it.
I'm trying to be that guy that people reference.
Exactly. It's like, it was so hard. But it was like... Fast forward to now, it was like all that negativity kind of went away when my mom was like so hyped to put in the group chat with like the cousins in the Philippines. Like, you need to watch at 6:00 p.m. PST. He's going to be on YouTube.
Oh, man. I
was
love
just like
that,
how much she was rallying for me. It was just like brought a tear to my eye because at one point, you're about to dead this dream.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so glad that, you know, you were able to, or I was able to take that risk and be like, no, I really feel it in my heart that this lane has to be paved. Yeah. It has to be paved, especially in LA, one of the biggest markets in music and hip hop.
Yeah.
You know?
How does it feel like, because I know obviously Nico's from the Bay and he moved to LA and I'm from here too. How does it feel for you to not be like, I guess how do I word this? How does it feel for you to like be able to make it here in the place you grew up in?
Ooh, how does it feel? It's man, it's a amazing feeling, like really just to be able to kind of be like, okay, this is what I want to represent, not give up, and being able to kind of put people in their different pockets and represent. Man, that feeling is like, whew, it really just gives me chills just because that's all I wanted. Yeah. I didn't have a B, I didn't have a C, I didn't I wanted to represent this generation that was unspoken for. And then now I get to represent my city, Carson, Los Angeles. I get to represent people that I came up with. Like, damn, That's a moment.
It's
a
insane
moment. It's like
feeling.
it's like growing up in LA and playing on the Lakers. It's like now you get to represent the city that you came up in.
Yeah. Like I mean like, and I have those same sentiments too. Like growing up in like East LA, Montebello, it's like fuck. Like I really get to do what I love. In the fucking city that I grew up in. Yeah. I remember one time there was like somebody who, you know how like helicopters fly over Dodger Stadium? There was one video that someone sent me. They're like, hey, I couldn't see this high up, but I'm pretty sure this is you on the screen. And it was from a helicopter point of view. I'm on the screen at Dodger Stadium and you can see like the game going on. And I'm just like, bro, that right there is what I fucking worked so hard for, and it finally paid off. Like, that shit's just crazy. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. It's insane. Wow. So positive.
Yeah, because I remember moments, right, when I was in high school, and I would listen to the New at 2 with DJ Felly Fell. Yeah. And I would always be so excited when they would finally play Tooted and Booted, YG. Or even, like, just play jerk records that we would all dance to, right? And then we're like, oh, shit. He's finally getting his moment. Like that was the like times where you really remember. It's very nostalgic, and you're like, now you're in that same position, and you're like, oh fuck, it's full circle. Yeah, it was like manifest destiny.
Full circle moment.
You excited, and you're there.
So I gotta ask you, because I asked Nico this before, and he said that it didn't really like exist in the Bay. But like the shuffling era. Okay. Were you ever a part of a shuffling group?
Ooh, no.
No,
not shuffling group. I was part of a jerking crew.
Oh, okay. You were part of a jerking crew.
But it was like, we did not compete because we were just Filipinos with tight ass pants just going crazy.
Matter of fact.
Let me find out you had a studded belt.
Oh yeah. Minus. Hey.
Matter of fact, you were around at Power during that time when Cat Daddy dropped, because I remember on Cat Daddy you said let Power 106 bang this shit.
Oh yeah. Nah, I wasn't there yet. I was like 2 years before. When I was.
Okay.
But I remember that though.
I feel like
Chris Brown was in the music video. That shit was crazy. Who? Chris Brown.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Power 106 play this shit.
Oh yeah. I remember like just that whole era of like shuffling and the jerking era and everything like that. That was such a crazy like moment, I guess, here. Like I was just like, I think about that, I'm like, that's literally so embarrassing.
Yeah. That was a great era. No,
I didn't have too many friends that shuffled though, did you?
I had a decent amount of friends that shuffled and also jerked.
Okay.
Dance.
Yeah. Jerking.
Pause.
No, like jerking.
They were jerking.
All my homies are jerking, but not shuffling.
Yeah, no.
I was DJing in the wrong parties.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like at like school dances, there would be like shuffle battles, and I'd be like, I want to go home already. Like, this is the point of the dance. I've never seen a
shuffle battle.
You've never seen a shuffle battle?
Shuffle battles are hard, bro.
So I'm thinking like LMFAO, party anthem.
Shit like that,
like
getting off,
just
right?
literally, exactly what you're thinking is exactly what it was.
Dang.
Man.
It's crazy.
Well, on a last note, speaking of music, bro, we want to play this very quick game with you. It's called Fiera, right? Fuera. So basically what that means in Spanish is like,
get out.
Get out.
Or get rid of.
So basically this is like one gotta go. So after I list these things, you got to pick one that got to go, and then afterwards we just got to say fuera.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So Gabe, one got to go. 6 Tape 1,
Ooh.
No Love Lost,
Ooh.
6 Tape 2,
Damn.
or Before You Go by Blxst.
Damn. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I can't. I'd rather fuera me. That's so hard.
You're like, I'm out of the job.
Yeah, because like 6 Tape was what started it off. 6 Tape 2 let him know that we could do this with different producers, and we could double 6 to 12. Damn. Before You Go is just showing you that I could do everything out of LA and make an R&B album. And what was the last one?
The last one
No
was...
Love Lost. The one that
No Love
fucking
Lost.
set everything off.
That was the one that set everything off.
No Love Lost was all just Blxst, and then the deluxe was with Chosen and Got It All with Dom Kennedy. So No Love Lost was like the one that really touched the world. So 6 Tape 2, if I had to.
You're like, please don't get me.
He's like, please let me have a job still.
But those are really good records.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to even like say that because all of those projects, it's kind of like held so much like value. Timeless value.
Yeah.
Like you explained it, like they had their own like story with it.
Yeah.
Like they're,
You could play them all today and they all still resonate today.
Yeah.
Good looks on the tough ass question. All right.
Theta.
Fuera.
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 Did I mess it up? We can do it again. Fuera.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Fuera. 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 And just like that, Gabe's camera died. Perfect timing, man. I was trying to time it. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Hey, it was perfect timing.
Voice.
Yeah, you can still hear your voice. Well, Gabe, where can everybody find you, bro?
At Good Morning Gabe, all social media except Twitter because they blocked me for some reason. My account got hacked, and then the guy started like selling crypto, and then they banned him. I was like, that's not even me though.
Nice.
But yeah, Good Morning Gabe is where you can find me. I have my own show on SiriusXM on with SoundCloud called The Lookout. Every Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And Facebook.com/Gabe is cool.
Okay.
From 2011.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm going to go on that.
All my aunties and uncles are going to like, okay. that's where you want to tap in with the family.
Oh my God.
On Facebook, for sure.
My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And Good Morning Gabe.
The Filipino Phantom.
Sir, peace out, y'all.